was, you know, fully in character, and as a director, tamper with something like a performance. Don't. If it's all working, just step back and let it be. And he, I hadn't seen him in 3 months, and I walked into his hotel room the day before shooting, and it was like Lester was born. It was like he was in his little cocoon about ready to come out, and he was just a different, he was Lester, basically.
Okay, let's get some questions from out there in the audience. Yes?
James, could you talk a little bit about your fascination with necrophilia? It's a serious question. You've made a short film and now you've made a feature on it. Just what does that mean to you and why do you want to show it to us?
Were you able to hear that question?
No,
I mean, I can repeat it if you didn't hear it. I guess you didn't hear it.
No, I can't hear him, sorry.
Yeah, okay. The question was about, could you talk about your interest or fascination with necrophilia? You've made a short film about it and now a feature-length film about it, or in which it features. It's a serious question, not a frivolous question.
Yeah. So, okay. It's true. There is a weird pattern, and in fact, early in my writing life, before even the short at NYU, I wrote a strange script about a man who works in a morgue and has friendships with all the bodies that come in. It's not necrophilia, but it's somebody communing with the dead. And I think really for me, I have in my personal life, I'm absolutely not attracted to dead people or anything like that. I think what it is that if I look at some of the other projects I've directed, it hasn't been planned this way, but I do deal with characters who are either isolated and or have a very rich imaginative life. And so, in the case of Hart Crane, there's a character who was isolated. His work, did not fit with the work of the day, the modernist kind of writers of the day, and so was isolated in that way, and so very much lived in his imagination. In his case, you could see it blooming into poetry. And I kind of view Lester in the same way. Not that he's an artist, but maybe he's a stand-in for someone who is unable to kind of fit into civilized society, but he wants a connection with another so badly that when he stumbles upon this opportunity, he figures out that he can have a relationship with someone outside of him if he animates it with his imagination. And so, I guess for me, it's just necrophilia is an extreme way, like I was saying earlier, it's an extreme way to talk about things that we all want, a connection with another. And it's an extreme way to show someone living in their own kind of imaginary world.
Yes.
And sometimes, and why do it in an extreme way? Well, sometimes, I guess to quote, some people from my literary education, and like Schlosky talks about, making the familiar unfamiliar. And so, like in Lolita, Humbert is a monster on the outside, but the feelings on the inside, his deep love for Lolita are, you could say the same kind of love that, people in a relationship we condone would have. So I'm not condoning necrophilia, it's just an extreme way to examine universal feelings.
Another question, yeah. Yeah, you. Oh, we're going to have a mic now this time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've had the fortune to see this and also Kink and Interior Leather Bar recently and Broken Tower, which I thought was fantastic. And I noticed a pattern with you that you, it's kind of in a way almost pure anarchism. Like you are really kind of seem to be fascinated with the outcasts, people on the fringes of what we call maybe respectable society. And I was wondering what, why you think it's important or what value you have to release, to make these stories now, especially in a time where our society seems to be moving towards this very corporatized, homogenized, kind of standardized madness.
Yeah, good question. Well, I make all kinds of movies, and I act and direct in all kinds of projects. You quoted 3 that are on, or 4 that are kind of on the more extreme side of the kinds of things I do. But
yeah, but you also do Disney, which is great because it makes you like a conduit, into also mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. So I think what you just said is one of the keys to maybe what I'm trying to do, mainly because I've found it's my voice. You know what I mean? So when when one goes to a MFA program of any kind, art, writing, directing, whatever, one of the things that you're taught is to look for your voice, or try to find your artistic voice, or your place. What can you do that others can't do? And so one of the things I found is that I'm in an unusual position. I'm in this very commercial film world. I'm in the pop culture world as a performer, but I also have these interests that maybe that are kind of tangents to that world, but don't really lie in that world. And so maybe my place, or my thing, or at least where I found a lot of, where I can generate a lot of energy, is to bring those 2 worlds together. And so maybe some of the things I'm doing, I've been done before. It's just that, like, I'm sure there's been necrophilia movies before, but, maybe they've been kind of relegated to some weird, just relegated to kind of more fringe outlets. And so maybe it's my place to bring some of these ideas into kind of more of a mainstream outlet. And why is it important? Well, it's important for what you said in the beginning, that making things, homogenized is it's dangerous. We always need to question. It's not, I'm not about anarchy, and I appreciate structure, but we always need to question who we are and why we are, and how we view ourselves, and how we interact with each other. Those are always things that need to be constantly questioned, and I think that's one of the things that I try to do.
Thank you. Next question. Yes, you.